Hey friends, if you're an e-commerce brand, people just tell you to improve your emails, to improve your flows, to send more, to improve deliverability, the funnel, everything. But nobody actually shows you the ROI, the actual calculation of how much this can bring you. Because sometimes if you're making an order, just doesn't make sense to change stuff out too soon, right? So in this video, I'm going to show you the internal calculator that we use. We've built the calculator with some advanced math equations. I'm a master mathematician myself, but I also use AI to do it. And we built this internal calculator that we show to clients and to potential people who will work with us on calls. We run this through their numbers to be able to see if it even makes sense. We don't want any fine print. We just want to show you how much this will cost upfront, tell you, and if we don't make that, you don't pay any money, right? That's what we say. But essentially, that's the premise of today's video. I'm going to also show you how it works, and I'm going to give access to you. So that's the second link in the description. You can access it, and you will be able to put your numbers in and see what kind of ROI you can expect. But let's get into it. So here's the calculator right here, the ready version. And how is it calculated? Let's just cover this real quick. So the calculator works on these 5 pillars. Number 1 is the flows, right? So each flow is seized of Klaviyo's published revenue per recipient. A welcome flow makes about 2.65 per new subscriber, and a banded cart about 3.65, and so down goes the list. Like, there are a lot of these benchmarks that Klaviyo have published themselves that we used on. A flow you do not run counts its full benchmark. A flow you run counts only the gap. You're already making $2,000 from your welcome flow, but according to the calculation, you should be making $4,000. The end result will only get that difference, the gap that you have, the $2,000 gap that you have, it will only calculate that, right? So this is how it works. There's the second one, is a one-time blast, right? So there are some flows, like never bought flow, like second order win-back flows, that only work when customers buy from you, right? So currently, if you don't have those flows, we have this one-time blast calculation that determines if you would implement this flow right now and trigger people who bought from you, how much money can you expect from it, right? So this is on top of the flows. One-time blast is on top. Number 3 is the broadcasts. We do measure the broadcasts, and we do see and watch of what can you expect from your broadcast, right? So the Klaviyo's data shows campaigns are about half of stores no revenue, and that's how the calculation goes. And email is 20 to 40% of total store revenue for a well brand. So a well-run campaign program is about 10 to 16%, right? Which totally make like 40 to 50% of the total store revenue. That's absolutely normal for brands who are doing it right. Now, the 4th pillar is we do not count every dollar, right? So some sales would have happened anyway. So the numbers stay at very conservative end. I specifically made it very conservative because people just sign up for a list, but even if they wouldn't sign up, some of them would buy anyways, right? Email don't really play a role in their buying decision. And number 5 is you need to check your inputs first. Like, we had a recent call where we were discussing stuff with a potential client, and they were like, wow, this calculator is really aiming high. It's not conservative. I don't believe you can achieve this because some people don't achieve this within 3 years. I don't believe you guys. And then we rechecked the inputs, the actual measures, the variables from their Klaviyo account. And it turns out we just added an extra 0, right? And so that's ruined the whole thing. So make sure you first double check the inputs, and then so you can receive an outcome that is realistic and conservative. Moreover, I also give this range to have space. Obviously, I can't give you the exact number. That's just impossible. But the range is here, right? The lower estimate and the higher estimate is right there. With that being said, let's just quickly go into an example that I'm going to show you. So let's say your store have monthly orders of $1,900. Let's make it $2,000. 2,000 orders. 2,000 orders. You can look it up inside your Shopify. That's very clear. Then you need your average order value. Let's say it's about $90 over. You need, if it's best to put monthly website visitors. If you don't have it, it's completely fine. The calculator is smart and it's going to estimate, right? It's completely fine. I'm going to use the estimation for the sole purpose of this video here. You need to put the monthly pop-up signups. So going to your Klaviyo, go to the sign-up forms and take a look at how much sign-ups you get per month. It's best to look over 90 days, right? So 3 months, and then divide it by 3. That way you get an average. But it's fine if you look 30 days back, it's also completely fine, right? It is an estimator after all. Then you need how many people are on your list right now. These are active people, not those that are subscribed. All people that you can send email to. But now in here, when you will go into the calculator and you'll access it in the second link in the description, you click on more detail and it sharpens the estimate. And what here you need to do, you need to just simply get a pop-up capture rate, right? So how much of your monthly website visitors actually click and sign up for the pop-up? You can look it up both in Shopify and I believe in Klaviyo, you can also set this up in a way you can look it up. And then usually it's about 4%, and that's why 3%, and that's why the default here is 3%. If you don't know it, just leave it at that. You can even move it to 4%, it's completely fine. And then you need, like, this is very cool to do. If you have people like on your list that already bought from you one time, just put how many of those, right? Let's say out of 40,000 people, 20K people bought from us already. And that's why we're moving now into the second section, which is what you're currently making from your current flows. Now, again, if you don't put anything, if you just don't do anything, it's going to take an estimate and they're pretty accurate. But let's say you're making about $1,000 from your abandoned cart flow. You have a welcome flow that makes you a 3K, 4K, right? There's a, I don't know, cross-sell flow. Let's say you have a cross-sell flow that makes you $500 per month. Right, all these are per month, just to make sure. Now, here's what you get. You get a full estimate, and then you can switch tabs here. So this is flows only, right? Not even counting the broadcast email that you will send, like 5 broadcast emails. This is usually the range. But only flows can bring you in extra 14,200 and 35,800, like anywhere between that. But on top of that, there's a one-time blast, as I told you. A one-time blast can bring you anywhere between 6K and 15K. An estimate for the first 90 days, anywhere between 49 and 122,000. And this is also compounds. It also, as I said, the calculator is smart. So it doesn't work with this. It doesn't just multiply this by 3. It also considers that you will keep getting more signups and pop-ups, and that's how it increases. And obviously, the first year, 176K and 445K, right? That's the range. If you click on this, it will just automatically does the thing for you, right? You don't need to input anything here. You get anywhere between this amount of money, flows about this, and broadcasts about this. Again, where it comes from, this. So it makes about half of the store's email revenue, and email flows 20 to 40%, and the rest of it is about the broadcast. And also it gives you a nice overview showing where the money is, right? Where is your biggest gap? Usually, for example, here it says, hey, your biggest gap is the broadcast emails. You need to set your broadcast. Oh, by the way, yes, I forgot to show you. You need to also put, if you want an accurate estimate of the broadcast emails, you need to put how many email broadcasts you're sending per week. Let's say you're sending 3, right? And how much money they're making you. Let's say 4K, right? And so in this case, once again, it shows you the estimate, it adjusts the estimate, and it shows you your biggest gap is the broadcast. Second biggest gap is that you need a better pop-up, right? And if you would implement a pop-up that it actually converts at about 8%, I believe, that's just the lower estimate that we use. Again, it's very conservative. Usually we get it to 10, 15, 80, sometimes percent. And so it shows you the gaps. It shows you where the most money is. With that said, second link in the description, once again, click on it. Just access it, play around with it, feel free to do it. And then once you like the number, if you do think that this number is something that you want in the next 30 days, that's the first link in the description. Book a call with me and my team. We're going to go ahead one more time to the calculator. We're going to show you what includes in our service and how we can guarantee you to reach the number that you see on screen right when you do it. Other than that, you need to subscribe to the channel because I will make more and more and more videos just like this. So subscribe and I'll see you in the next video.